Winter hasn't been a very good season for Bitcoin. We're basically seeing it iced over from the last couple of months from about 92,000 to around $105,000 range. But I have a chart that I'm going to share with you today that shows that the ice could be melting off this pretty soon and that we could see the price of Bitcoin start to heat up. And of course, when Bitcoin starts to heat up, we're going to have altcoins, which have really been buried and frozen over in ice, start to thaw out as well and get even bigger gains than Bitcoin has. So this chart I'm going to share with you today actually predicted the Bitcoin bottom of around 16,000 back in December of 2022. And this same chart is showing a pretty crazy price just within a few months. So I'm going to tell you that price in the next few months and also what this chart says about Bitcoin at the end of the year and then even out 4 years out to 2029, 2030. So before I get to that, welcome to all the new subscribers who subscribed from last video. And I appreciate all your likes and comments. If you want to stay even more up to date with me, you can follow me on Twitter at 𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗃, and I post what I'm buying and selling over there. I also post about other crypto news and stuff like that, so you can follow me over there if you're interested in that. But first, before I get into this chart here, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. So we have FTX repayments coming out next week on the 18th. And I think this is going to be bullish for the Bitcoin price because I think because of the macro environment we're in, although it's been slow and a little bit bearish lately, the long-term and macro environment that we're in, I think a lot of people are going to take those repayments and reinvest it back into crypto rather than take it out of the market. And so I think that's going to add liquidity to the market there. So that's going to be coming next week. And I also wanted to mention that Opensea is going to be doing a token airdrop pretty soon. And they mentioned that this came out in like 2020 and it's going to take in all transactions since then. So if you've interacted with Opensea at all over these last few years, then you should qualify for that airdrop too. So I'll keep you updated on that as we get closer to that releasing here too. But let's get into this bullish chart. And this is actually an Elliott wave chart. So Elliott wave theory basically has 5 points in an uptrend. And the first, third, and fifth points are the up points, high points. And the second and fourth points are the low points. And so it goes up 1, down 2, up 3, down 4, up 5. And there can also be little mini Elliott waves within this, which you'll see in the chart, pulling it up here. But basically, this is used to predict price movements. And it's kind of, people can take the same data, right, and make different assumptions on it. So it's not like completely one Elliott wave theory that everybody's going by for a particular chart. But according to this theory from Seth Finn here, and this is based on other people that did this Elliott wave and predicted the Bitcoin bottom back in December 2022, around 16,000. And you can see that this chart predicted that when Bitcoin hit 16,000. Now, the bullish thing here is that looking at the chart, this same prediction indicates that Bitcoin will head up to about 225,000. You can see if we trace that across, it's a little bit above 225,000, so maybe like 230, 240 even. And it's predicting this by before summer, basically, of 2025. So around Mayish is when this is showing that Bitcoin could reach its peak. And that's a lot earlier than other people are thinking. A lot of people are thinking that we're going to have a bull run extended into fall, but this chart is showing that it could peak out again around May before a bigger drop off. Now, I should mention again that people can interpret different things based on these Elliott waves. And there's also a bearish people that could look at this and use Elliott waves and say that we could still have more downside. That's definitely a probability. And we could go down to, again, the key resistance or the key support at 92,000, which we've hit several times. Or we could even break that down to another key zone of 86,000, or even down to 80,000. And so that would be even more devastating in the short term. But in the long term, if we're heading up to 225 plus thousand, we're not really going to care about what happened if Bitcoin goes down to 85 or 80K. I'm sure it's going to be really tough at the time to deal with, but it's looking, if we zoom out and take in this whole long-term Elliott wave, then we can see that 220 is still in play. And then after we hit this area, this Elliott wave is also showing a significant crash the rest of the year down into December 2026, back to the area about where we are now. So 90,000, 100,000, which would be feasible with what Bitcoin has done in the past as far as drawbacks. But the huge news here, guys, is what happens after this in December. What this Elliott wave is showing is that Bitcoin bottoms out at between 90 and 100,000, and then it rockets up over the next 3 to 4 years into 2019. And this is showing a price target of $1.1 million for Bitcoin in 2029 and in 2030. And I know that sounds crazy, but just with governments again and companies more and more getting into Bitcoin, that could literally happen. And it's not too far out of the realm of possibility, although it seems like unreachable. It could happen. But again, charts like this, they're right until they're wrong, and that doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just a model that we can get an estimate on where Bitcoin is headed. So I just wanted to share that with you and give you some bullish hopium, because I think we really need it right now, especially with altcoins and Bitcoin just not really doing anything. But there is a lot of positivity there and these predictions like this out there. So let me know what you guys think of this chart and this price target. And if you haven't signed up for Coinbase or Bitmart, I have links to that where you can get bonuses for signing up there. And I also have a Cardio Miracle link with it, which is a nitric oxide supplement that I take. I have a link for that as well if you want to check that out. And also, if you like this video, make sure to check out my other video where I talk about 5 key charts that also give bullish price predictions for Bitcoin in 2025. And I go over those in that video in detail and what kind of price we can expect looking at those charts, and when to know when is the best time to take out your money, hopefully at the top there. So you can check that video out right here. And my cat's crying, so I gotta sign off now. But thanks for watching again, and we'll see you in the next one.